In last week's game against the Kansas City Chiefs, one thing that really caught everyone's attention was how dominant the Raiders' defensive line was in putting pressure on quarterback Patrick Mahomes. The Raiders finished the game with 5 sacks and kept up relentless pressure on Mahomes throughout. But one player, in particular, really stood out and made an impact. Defensive end, Kayvon Thibodeaux. He delivered a standout performance, recording 1.5 sacks in what has undoubtedly been his best game since joining the Raiders. Kayvon signed with the team earlier this season after injuries hit the defensive line, with Malcolm Kuntz notably being sidelined for the year. At just 25 years old, Kayvon still has plenty of potential to grow. For a little background on him, Kayvon played college football at LSU, where he was a standout pass rusher. Over 3 seasons with the Tigers, he recorded 92 tackles, 19 tackles for loss, and 9.5 sacks. He played a key role in LSU's national championship run, showcasing his elite athleticism. In the NFL, Kayvon was drafted 20th overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 2020 NFL Draft. Over 4 seasons with Jacksonville, he totaled 72 tackles, 5 sacks, and 11 tackles for loss in 57 games. Though he showed flashes of potential, consistency was an issue, leading the Jaguars to decline his 5th-year option after the 2023 season. This opened the door for the Raiders to bring him in for a fresh start. Now, alongside Max Crosby and the rest of the defensive line, Kayvon has found his place with the Raiders and has the chance to reignite his career. I want to dive into the film and highlight some of the standout plays from Kayvon in this matchup. On a 3rd and long situation, we see him with his hand in the dirt, but he tries to time the snap a little too early, which leads to a penalty and gives Mahomes and the Chiefs a free play down the field. They were able to capitalize on it, but it's a minor mistake. He just needs to do a better job of anticipating the snap and watching the ball. On 3rd and 10, Kayvon is out in space, one-on-one against the left tackle. Here he uses a smooth hand swipe move to break free and get into the backfield, where he wraps up Mahomes for a sack. It's a perfect example of how effective his technique can be. Later, on 3rd and goal inside the red zone, Kayvon uses that same swipe move again. He also shows great hand technique and flexibility to bend around the edge, forcing Mahomes to feel the pressure. He gets a solid hit on the quarterback, but credit goes to Mahomes, who still manages to make a jump ball throw into the end zone for a touchdown. While the play resulted in a score, Kayvon made Mahomes work for it, and that's exactly what you want from a defensive lineman. In another play, Kayvon is lined up on the opposite side of the line, hand in the dirt once again. This time, he sells a speed rush off the edge, then transitions into a powerful bull rush. He drives right tackle Jawan Taylor back into Mahomes' lap, helping the Raiders' defense apply more pressure. Kayvon was credited with half a sack here, another solid rep showing his versatility. Here's another 3rd and long situation, and this time, Kayvon lines up at the 3-tech spot on the interior of the defensive line. If we slow this play down, you can see that Kayvon gets off the line really well. He nearly matches Max Crosby's quickness, and we all know Crosby has one of the best get-offs in the league. Kayvon does a great job of staying aware of Mahomes and tracks him down. As Mahomes starts moving to his left, Kayvon almost looks like he's playing quarterback spy, staying right with him. Mahomes initially looks like he's about to scramble to his left, but he feels the pressure from both Kayvon and Tyree Wilson. Kayvon sprints after him, forcing Mahomes to reverse course and head back inside. That's where he runs right into Max Crosby. But credit to Mahomes, despite all that pressure, he somehow avoids a sack from Crosby and manages to throw a pass into the hands of DeAndre Hopkins. Unfortunately for the Chiefs, Hopkins drops the ball. I have to give Kayvon and Tyree credit here though. They didn't allow Mahomes to escape the pocket, forcing him into a tough situation. That's great defense. In another play, Chaisson uses his hand swipe move again, and this time he adds a bit of athleticism with a small hop to get past his man. He's able to get a free shot at Mahomes and forces another pressure situation. Max Crosby ends up getting credited with the sack, but in my opinion, that sack should have gone to Chaisson. Still, it's another fantastic rep from him, forcing a big stop on third down. What I really like here is Chaisson's pad level. He uses his power to drive back the left tackle, getting right into the lap of Patrick Mahomes. This makes Mahomes uncomfortable and forces him to throw the ball quickly. In the end, Mahomes has to release the ball without setting his feet, throwing it off his back foot, which results in an inaccurate pass. Once again, Chaisson's relentless pressure causes Mahomes to make a mistake. Here's another third and long situation for the Raiders' defense. While Chaisson doesn't get a sack or a quarterback hit here, I love his reaction. He doesn't give up. After the pass is thrown, he immediately sprints to the ball carrier to help secure the tackle, which ultimately forces the Chiefs to punt. It's a great example of his relentless effort and athleticism, especially late in the fourth quarter when every play counts. Overall, Chaisson really stood out on tape in this matchup. He's a young, athletic player with a lot of upside in his career with the Raiders. Over time, he started to show flashes as an edge rusher, complementing Max Crosby on the other side. It's also worth noting that Crosby uses a similar hand swipe move, so you've got to wonder how much having a superstar like Crosby on the line is influencing Chaisson's development as a player. His performance against Kansas City is just another sign of his potential. Chaisson's performance was highlighted by 1.5 sacks, though it honestly should have been 2.5. He showcased his relentless ability to pressure Patrick Mahomes, and his performance was somewhat reminiscent of Malcolm Kuntz's breakout game last season against the Chiefs on Christmas Day. What Chaisson showed is something we're still waiting for from our 2023 first-round pick, Tyree Wilson: explosiveness as a pass rusher off the edge. I don't want to be too hard on Tyree Wilson, as he has been improving bit by bit, but it's true. These are the types of performances we were expecting from a player taken that high in the draft. We've been waiting to see Wilson develop another move beyond his bull rush, and to be as explosive as Chaisson was in this game. Chaisson is still a very intriguing player, especially at just 25 years old. He has a lot of potential left to tap into. If he can build on this momentum, he could become a key part of the Raiders' pass rush rotation going forward, especially with the possibility of Malcolm Kuntz returning next season and Christian Wilkins coming back as well. Hopefully, Tyree Wilson can continue to improve too. It's still too early to write him off completely, and he has shown signs of growth. If the Raiders' defensive line can stay healthy, and if Chaisson keeps developing, this unit could become a real force. With depth at the position, it could be a scary sight for opposing offenses down the road. I really liked what I saw from Chaisson in this game. He's talented, athletic, and definitely a player to keep an eye on. With the right system and situation, Chaisson has the potential to live up to the first-round talent he showed back in college. His upside is definitely something to keep an eye on, especially as he continues to mesh with the Raiders' defensive line unit. Raiders Nation, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Kayvon Chaisson's performance against the Kansas City Chiefs. Drop your comments below. That's all I've got for today's video. If you're new to the channel and love Raiders-related content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.